If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkills tutorial guides from Microsoft Flight Simulator, or simply interested in supporting the channel, please consider joining us on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future releases that come down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we are once again talking about this guy, the Octavi IFR-1, the world's smallest cockpit. And we're going to talk more about that and where that comes from. I'm going to be talking to you guys about price point now, where you can buy it, what the delivery estimates are, how that schedule is going to look out in the initial release here. Because at the time of you guys seeing this video, if this video has gone live, this is now officially for sale. And we're going to talk about all those details. I'm also going to talk to you guys about my experience with it in the last week and a half or so, to almost 2 weeks now since I received this. And if my opinions from the last video have changed, we're going to talk about some of the updates that it's already gone through since I've had it, what my use case for it is and has been since I received it, and who I feel would really benefit from this product. Okay. One thing that I will not be touching on, just so we're on the same page, is my opinion of the price point. Now, and I'm going to get out of the gate right now. It has nothing to do with me disagreeing. It's not because I'm going to say yes or no to it. My reason being is because it depends on use case. Money to anything. Okay, I really try to stay away. If you guys notice my last few Thrustmaster product videos, my last few hardware videos, I've stayed away from stating whether or not I agree with the price point. And that's because somebody asked me. Somebody had mentioned what the price point of was previously, and then there were comments that followed that said it was overpriced, it was underpriced, it was great, it was a lot. The reason why I won't comment on it is because each one of our opinions of what the price point is going to be different, because it's going to be based on what value do you find, right? Everything's all about return. You know, if you spend $10 on something, what is the return on that $10? If you don't feel that it was worth it, that means that you didn't feel that you got the return on your investment, right? So, ROI. So I'm not going to be talking about that. I'll tell you guys how much it is, but I won't be telling you guys what my opinion of it is. But if you watch the review, you'll probably know. So first thing I want to get out of the gate, world's smallest cockpit. The number of comments on that previous video about calling it the world's smallest cockpit, you guys were like giving me crap. So I want to show you guys that. I said it because it's on the box. And yes, I know, and the developer knows, it's not an entire cockpit. It's a play on words, you guys. World's smallest autopilot. You know, I don't know what you want. You know, and it does a little bit more than autopilot, though. That's the key to there too. It can definitely do more, and it's going to continue to do more as time goes on. We're going to talk about that. So first, where can you get it? You can pick this up right now on the Aerosoft website, and I believe it is 176 euros, and I believe it comes out to 196 US dollars, which is basically the same price as it was during the Kickstart. And it was very successful during the Kickstart program. It's gotten great responses. And again, so at the time that if this video is live, you're watching this video, it is for sale right now. Next thing, shipping. So the first orders will ship out on September the 14th. Okay. So a couple weeks away, 2 weeks out. And that's, I imagine, to make sure that they have enough production units to ship out for the purchases. I'm perfectly okay with that. I've seen a couple of companies do that. It's happened to me before, and I've been totally fine with that. I was on the waiting list, for example, the Bravo and the Alpha from Honeycomb for months and months before I actually got mine. So it's really not a huge deal to me. Obviously, everybody's different. Now let's talk about my experience. This is the important part. Let's talk about my experiences with this in the last week and a half or so since I've done the previous video. So first off, the profile that comes with the device, or comes with, you can download from the website without using any other third-party program. Let's put it that way, where you can use the device as a plug-and-play option. That profile has been updated, I think, twice since I did my video. Some things that have been added: centering the heading bug. We talked about barometric pressure last time, being able to push it and switch between standard and your current barometric setting. That has now been added. It has been updated for the Cessna 172. It has been updated for the G1000 for enhanced functionality. to make sure that everything's working as expected. There are talks, I think I mentioned this in the previous video, but I know that the developer is in communication at the very least with SPAD, trying to figure out how to make it work with SPAD. So hopefully that's something that comes down the line. If it gets to the point where you can use it with SPAD, the configuration options are limitless. Now, currently, the idea to use it, and I did not show this on the previous video, and I'll be showing this probably on a video either later this evening or probably tomorrow. We'll see how the day goes. I've got a pretty packed day today by the time you guys are seeing this. But if I can get one out, I will. And what the primary program that you want to use with this is actually MobiFlight. MobiFlight is a third-party software that primarily focuses around the use of Arduino boards, which obviously this is. And Arduino, for those of you who don't know, it's a microchip. Or, well, not a microchip. It's a circuit board. Let's put it that way. It's a circuit board. And a lot of controllers are using Arduino, especially DIY, do-it-yourself kind of things. Arduino is a really, really good tool to use. Anyway, I digress. So MobiFlight was designed to work with a lot of Arduino boards in conjunction with flight simulation. It's hence why it's called MobiFlight. So it's definitely designed with flight simulation in mind. The profiles there are configurable. You can edit them. You can do some of your own customization with it. Now, I don't want to go much further into it because I haven't dove into MobiFlight into that level yet, so I don't want to speak on that and make it sound easier than it is. I will say that the MobiFlight software was a little bit more complex than what I'm used to seeing, and I don't even know if complex is the word. I think it's a completely different layout than anything else I've ever used. So obviously, it's like staring at something for the first time. But I will say that I've been able to use the profiles that are now available on the Octavi website, which are available for free download. You don't obviously charge anything for that portion of it. Once you have the device, you have access to the profiles. And those are being updated pretty regularly by the developer. And so as the new profile comes out, you just download it, launch your MobiFlight, it loads it into the device, and off you go. So really slick system. It really is very, very nice. Now, you guys can see the size is very small. Look at the comparison to the size of my hand. Now, I also have frying pan size hands, but you guys can sort of catch the gist there of where we're at. Okay. Even when I first got it, when I first pulled this thing out of the box and realized how small it really is, I keep looking over the camera like, oh, look, it's all shiny. Anyway, even I was concerned about how small it was. It's very small. For what its functionality is. And I've had nothing but good times with it. One of the things that I was really impressed with is the little rubber feet on the back of it work surprisingly well. And yeah, they're rubber feet, Mike. Yeah, I know they are, but you know how many rubber feet that I've seen where you still go to use something and it slides all over your desk or tabletop? Drives me crazy. And I haven't had any problem with it. And the other thing that I've been able to do that I've been getting much better at is laying it on the desk and being able to just use muscle memory to sort of click over COM2, COM1, NAV1, nav mode, right? So it comes with time. But it being such a small form factor here is almost an advantage for what they're doing here because you always have an edge as a reference point. And so it's just a matter of learning, is it 3 this way or is it 3 this way, right? So it makes it, a big difference there as far as navigating around it. And the more I'm doing it, the faster I'm getting with it, the more comfortable it's getting with it. And the reason why I'm pointing that out is virtual reality. I wanted to make that a big kicker there. Because if you can get that muscle memory down with just your one hand and just get used to moving your fingers around, you get fast with it. And because it's so small, you could put this in your lap, dude. You could literally set it down on your lap and use it. So depending on what your limitations are for cockpits and hardware and, all the different peripherals that we have. I mean, you guys, there's been people who have asked me, because I asked for this. That was the other thing I wanted to address real quick, not to come off topic. The previous comment or the previous video, there was somebody who made the comment, well, you can tell somebody was paid to do the review. No, somebody wasn't. Somebody asked for this. I reached out to the developer. The developer did not reach out to me. I reached out to them asking for a copy of it. And I had people ask, like, why? Because I have that, right? So I've got the G1000, GNS 530. I've got multiple hardware devices. I've got all kinds of stuff. I got the Class Echo Mobile. I mean, the list goes on and on. So why this? Well, because, like, for example, for me, I also have, it's probably a mess right now, but that thing, which is the motion simulator. And I was able to fly in the motion pit, set this down on my lap, and it didn't move. Now, it has a USB cable, obviously. That's how it connects, right? But didn't cause me any problems, didn't bounce around, didn't fly around. I mean, it actually sticks to your clothing pretty well. And so that was a big advantage to me. And then I got to thinking about, well, this thing's so light, I could even make like a little tray for it to sit in on the motion pit over there, near the throttle or something, which means I have to start practicing with my left hand, which sucks because I got good with my right hand. But you can start practicing with it, and I found a new advantage for it. So I'll tell you what my hopes are for it. My hopes are that it becomes more and more integrated with other aircraft. Start getting it into a position where this thing can be used with multiple types of aircraft, multiple avionics suites, and this thing is going to be unstoppable. And again, especially for virtual reality. That's where I'm really seeing the benefit. That, and if you are someone who is limited on space, if you don't have the room for the big devices, the GNS 530s, the G1000s, the mini autopilot panels, the FCPs, they take up a lot of space. If you're someone who's just a desk pilot, this is cream. It's awesome. It's perfect. Final thoughts here on this device is it's going to come back to what we were talking about earlier, return of investment, and how you guys feel about it. It is for sale, again, on the Aerosoft website. I do highly recommend it for general aviation users, virtual reality users. Doesn't have any kind of big cockpit, mobile devices, things like that. Doesn't want to deal with touch screens. Want something small that's comfortable, that very quickly solves the problem, and that isn't big and bulky and gets in the way. Then this is cream. Again, desk pilots, if you're a desk chair pilot, this is definitely a very, very awesome device to have, and I would highly recommend it. I love the build quality on it. I love the look of it. I love how quickly the developer is responding to any questions that I've had with it. Like I said, since that last video I did, the profiles have already been updated based on the comments that I made in those videos and the behavior that the developer witnessed in that previous video, within 24 hours, he had a new profile out for me to try out. Again, mentioning those couple of changes that we talked about before, the centering, the heading bug, as well as the standard barometric pressure. So very, very awesome device, you guys. Very, very cool device. And I think that's really, at this point, I'm just going to be repeating myself even more than I already have. You guys are going to have to make decisions for yourselves, obviously, as well. I hope you guys value my opinion. I really don't have anything negative to say about it at this time. The developer is very clear on what it was built for at the time, what is being released for, what its capabilities are at the time. It is all over his website. So I don't have anything negative to say as far as features and functionality, because the developer has already drawn that line. He's already stated, here's what it can currently do. Here's what we are trying to do. Time brings, evolution, right? It'll evolve over time. So again, Aerosoft's website, 176.99 euros, comes out to about $196 US. First shipments will be going out on September the 14th. I will have multiple videos coming out this week showing the MobiFlight integration and how that all works and what it looks like and how to load the profiles, showing you guys where to get the profiles, and then showing you guys the enhanced behavior because of the MobiFlight. The MobiFlight absolutely did change the behavior of it and made it something that was definitely much more functional. And because of MobiFlight being free, there's no extra charges, there's no headache there to be concerned about. So again, that is the Octavi IFR-1. Check out the website. Check out other YouTube videos. I'm sure they'll be coming. And if you guys are interested and already sold on it, it is for sale. Go and get yourself a copy of it so that way you can be a part of that September 14th shipment. As always, you guys, leave your questions, comments down below. I'll make sure that the developer takes a peek at the channel and scours through your comments on them, guys. Stay safe and healthy. I'll see you in the next one.